Did you know that the Pentagon is just a giant fortress built around to protect its most top secret meeting room, a hot dog stand? That's why hundreds of people went there every afternoon to get their briefings. Well, that's what the Russians thought, and that's why there was never a moment where two missiles weren't pointed at the hot dog stand. The Russians never really thought that the people were just hungry and were getting a bite to eat. Today I will be informing you about why the Pentagon was built, how it was built, and who oversaw it. In September 11th, 1941, construction began on the five-sided building in Washington, D.C., 22202, Virginia. This oddly shaped building quickly became the universal symbol for the U.S.'s strength and security known around the world. The Pentagon was the brainstorm thought by General Smorville. This was his idea to help the War Department's shortage of space and the imminent fear of joining World War II. After his idea was approved, the architects got to work designing this building around the land it was supposedly supposed to be built on, Arlington Farms. Arlington Farms is surrounded by 5 highways connecting at all angles, leaving the only option as a pentagon shape. This idea was all afloat until President Roosevelt decided to change locations to where it is now, but like the unique layout. It was supposed to be active. It was only supposed to be active until the end of World War II. In that case, after which it was supposed to be turned into a hospital. At the height of World War II, the Pentagon housed more than 33,000 people, and after the war, they quickly realized that they needed to keep such a large military base active at all times to prepare or just stay in touch. So instead of it becoming a hospital, it is now the War Department's command center. It houses the defense, the security of defense, and the chief of staffs. During the construction was going smoothly until about the time of the Pearl Harbor bombing, at which point Washington was just being flooded with thousands of military officers needing a place to stay. This led to the two architects, Brigstorm and Wilmer, not having enough time to finish some of the designs and leading the construction people, the people building, starting on their own and kind of figuring out as they went on. That had to be a little hard, I think. The grounds of the building went up in just 16 months. In January of 1943, it was completed and fully operational. And this was all thanks to the 14,000 construction workers that worked around the clock, 3 shifts back to back, to help support the war. The architects predicted that they'd need over 400,000 tons of steel, 43,000 tons of concrete, and over 600,000 tons of sand and gravel. And the price was estimated at about $35 million. They really underestimated the price, causing it to end up being $60 million. That is around $9 million in today's money. But the builders were frugal with their supplies, and they ended up saving enough steel to construct a battleship, and they got all of their sand and gravel and most of their concrete from the Potomac River. The creator, or the guy who made the brainstorm, Smorville, was a major motivating person in seeing his thought come to life. But behind him was a guy named Colonel Grooves. He was responsible for overseeing how and what really went on with the project. Grooves oversaw it in August of 1941 up until its completion. Grooves oversaw the day-to-day task and making sure everything was functioning to the best of its abilities, and that even means kind of calming down some workers when they decided to protest, and handling all of the military officers telling him to finish it a lot sooner than the projected date, which he did do, hence it only going up in 16 months. And while he was constructing all of this and working on that, he was also assigned to be the lead person in searching and finding places for the Manhattan Project, according to Katie Logan at the Pentagon's history. He was in charge of finding bomb sites to help America's attempt at being the first to develop the atomic bomb. In conclusion, this Pentagon is a sight to behold, and it's the product of one man's ideas and thousands of people's help to bring it to life. This shows that with a little bit of elbow grease and a lot of money, anything can happen. I hope you learned why and how it was built, and also learned a little more about the glue of the guy who built it, who oversaw it, Colonel Grooves. Thank you, and have a good day.